Hey peoples, happy 8 p.m. Thank you for the one person who's on right now, I think. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. And for people who are used to these live stream videos, you'll notice today we actually have a title or a topic of today. And this is based off of our live stream from Monday, which when we're talking about Lil Tay. So uh, I have some updates and I have some opinions of this stuff, and I'd like to have some conversation around our culture as a society and what we're doing with our lives. Jared, good to see you on. Isaac, good to see you on as well, and John as well. Thanks for hopping on. And yeah, so Isaac, are you the youngest Alexer? Just as Fortnite after. We'll see. It's big question mark a little bit. I'm preparing a little bit for a presentation, so in 2 days. So I just want to make sure that I get my foundations in, and I'm open to the possibility of it. Let's see. Vapor, good to see you on, and Mackenzie, good to see you on. So Junior Savage, good to see you on as well. So, on Monday, people like, what are your thoughts on Lil Tay? And I'm just like, I've never heard of her. Who's that? So of course I Google slash YouTube search, and I only watched one video, and I assumed she was a musician, and I didn't realize I checked out more content today, and I'm just like, wow, special. Like I feel like music is far from what she really focuses on. It's a lot of what is this? A lot of flexing, of course. So I guess the reason why this is the topic of today, and like it just blows my mind, like how much time and focus that I guess we put on very random stuff. I know most of you are aware of Lil Tay, and I'm a little bit behind on this, but yeah. So for anyone who's not up to speed with Lil Tay, 9-year-old person, little kid who pretends to be like super rich and flexes on everyone and puts everyone down and pretends that she's better than everyone else. So that's pretty much what she does. And um, yeah, like I'm curious. I'm really curious to know what your thoughts about of Lil Tay is. Like, I mean, I I think most people understand that this is all just it's just an act, right? Like she's obviously she's not super wealthy, and it's a little bit like I don't know, like it reminds me of Rice Gum in a way. Like Rice Gum, he does a lot of roasts and like just to mess around. Like it's a very sarcastic kind of humor. Um, and then Lil Tay is just like another level of that. Like it's not even sarcastic humor. It's just like trying to fish for views and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of celebrities, like whatever celebrities or infamous people right now who are gaining popularity because they're pulling off a lot of these publicity stunts to get exposure. And it's working, And the fact that I'm talking about it right now is only creating more buzz. I don't know how dead of a meme Lil Tay is at this point, but like the point is like it just fascinates me. Like it fascinates me what people do for attention, and yeah, it blows my mind. And you know what's fun? Like what surprises me about this, or like what kind of irks me, or like makes me just like really, is the fact that like if we're spending all our attention focused on Lil Tay, and like trying to figure out like what's all this drama all about, like that's gonna be our life, as that's gonna be our culture as society, like we we are shaping society right now, our world, and our culture as a society is just consuming a bunch of rumors and just random stuff that are super relevant to our lives, but then they become relevant because we talk about them. So for me, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that there are a good number of people out there just creating content that is, it's meant to go viral. It's meant to just like, I don't know, just catch people's attention and create conversations about it, because it's like, what is the relevancy here? So that's my thoughts on it. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'm gonna dive in and read your comments because I see you guys and ladies just like commenting a lot. Mackenzie says, I just finished my project. Good stuff. John says, but at least she said work hard even though she didn't. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, man, just rented a Lamborghini and I'm gonna just take my mom's money and flex it at my mom's customer's house. Yeah. Goodness. So, yeah, I haven't seen all the content and all the behind the scenes of Lil Tay. And obviously, like, just watching it, there's parts of it that's a little bit cringy. That's like, as a 9-year old, there's only so much you can know. And there's times like I did watch the interview that she did with Jake Paul, and like there's questions where she didn't know how to answer the question, so she's like, "Yeah, I'm richer than you are," like stuff like that. And I'm just like, whatever. Anyway, the point is like, it's clear that of course she's putting up her front and she doesn't know everything, and there's parts where she like it's funny because Jake Paul's like doing the counter, it was kind of cool to see it, because Jake Paul he was just super chill about it. He's just like, oh yeah, no, you are richer than me. No, you're right. Like, oh no, this mansion I have, oh no, it's tiny, it's tiny, like, it's nothing. And, yeah, and like, Lil Tay didn't know what to do. She's like, yeah, but I'm still better than you, So, hey, this is a great conversation about bullying too. So I know we're going a little bit off topic, but it's relevant. Okay, so let's talk about bullying. Okay, so what makes Lil Tay successful is that people are fueling her, I don't know, the ego. If you're trying to like compete against Lil Tay, like that just creates more fuel. Like no, 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 like you're not better than me. Like stop trying to like show off and stuff like that. And then if you keep doing that, then that gives her more fuel to be like, yeah, yeah, no, like I'm better than everyone else. But if you do what Jake Paul did in that interview setting, like he literally all he did was just he agreed with everything she said, and just in a very like in a non-offensive or defensive way. Like Jake was just like, yeah, no, you're right. Like I mean he's just messing around and stuff, but like and after that, like she couldn't really say anything because nobody's arguing with her, So I don't know. I think that's funny. So for anyone who's getting bullied, if you just like agree with the bully, like, hey, you're a loser, or you're ugly, or you're fat, you're so worthless. Like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I am stupid. You're so right. Man, I'm fat. You're so right about that. Like if you do that, then they're like, oh shoot, like he's agreeing with me. He's not fighting back. Like, what are you supposed to do as a bully? Like that puts you in a really awkward position because you got nothing to say anymore. Okay, so that's all I gotta say. John says she still had a tag on one of her shirts she used in one of her videos. Let's see. Do you like Lil Tay? No, I don't know about that one. Yeah, nah, 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 nah. I'm not a fan. Okay, so I mean, I think this is pretty obvious, but like, I really am not a fan of, like the content she's producing. Like, it's super toxic in a way. Like, okay, so there's surface level. On a surface level, what society sees as a whole is someone who's flexing, right? Who's like, trying to create, followers and stuff like that. So that's surface level, not a fan. And on a deeper level, like, what is she representing in the world? Like, she really is creating, like, she is shaping our culture in a way, and it's such a non-productive way to shape our culture. Like, there's no, like, what is it doing? Like, seriously, what is it doing? It's not improving our culture in any way. Besides the fact that we got to have this conversation about it, which is good. The fact that this is hopefully a forwarding conversation. Like, for me, my main thing is like, after watching these videos, I realized some people watch it, and I'm just like, we got to figure out ways to do more productive things with our lives. It is cool. It's okay to have fun and to consume content and stuff like that. But like, at least for me, like at least watch I don't know, like a TV show or something like that. Be inspired by the hard work that people put into acting and creating content and stuff like that. Not just hating on people. Like, I don't know, like at least appreciate something that a lot of work was put into it. You know, I mean, this is funny. Like I have like all these like deeper layer things that I don't want to go too deep into, but like in a way, let's be real. Like I know we're talking a lot about Lil Tay right now, but like I mean, yes, it does take a lot of work to build up this personality that's Lil Tay in a way. You know, that's obviously not her real life personality. It's just her personality as Lil Tay. So, anyway, yeah. Jay Gucci says 17 more subs for 8,000, not 9. Haha. Ha. Uh, Lil Tay's Red Scum sister. Yeah, I saw that video. Oh, goodness. Would you have Lil Tay as your kid? That's funny. You know, good. I'm so curious. Like, I'm really curious to meet Lil Tay's parents. Like, why why would you allow this? Why would you allow this to be your kid? Like, I, I don't know. That's all. That's all I got. I will feed your cat a full pound of chocolate. What? Hilarious. Okay. Let's see. John says society today make a vid or vid saying you're rich and talk like a gangster, then you get to meet the famous people. Yeah. Yeah, like yeah, I don't know. It's such a I don't know. It's such a to me it's a bad example of working hard. It's like, you know, I'm not saying she's I'm not saying she's not working hard because I think she is putting in the work to create this bad personality that's working, that's effective, like virality, like, you know, going viral and stuff like that, but like I don't know. Just I'm not a fan of people being inauthentic and, you know, creating this playing the system in a kind of a sleazy way to meet with famous people in a way. Like if you want to meet famous people, build up the credibility and work yourself up to that place. So that's what I gotta say. Again, not saying it's funny as much as I'm kind of a little bit hating on Little Tay right now. Like there is a piece of it where it's like I do understand that she put in the work. I know she's been doing this for 2015 is what I heard from like a news source or something like that. So she's been doing this for 3 years. So, uh, yeah, I mean, it took her some time to get here, but yeah. Um, what is this? Mackenzie says, "I cry. I'm being attacked. Why? Wait, what are you being? Oh, I see. We got some bullies in the house. What's going on here?" Zach says, there's a new chat in the group. You can put fan art now in the group. Yeah. So shout out to Zach. Zach, thanks for creating that fan art in the Richard Code Discord channel, which by the way, I will link. You all already see the Discord channel, but I'm going to link it right there. And Mackenzie, Mackenzie, I expect to see some of your artwork in there too, because you have some cool artwork. So I like to see some. Yeah, not expecting. I was kidding about that, but I'd love to see some artwork in there. Uh, let's see. Oh goodness gracious. Let's see. Jared says, "What did you hear, Yanni or Laurel? What? What is this? I don't know what that is." Okay, cool. We're caught up with comments for now. Awesome. That's super cool. So, yeah, that's my little bit of a rant of today's pop culture slash Lil Tay. I'd like to kind of hear your thoughts on Lil Tay. What do y'all think about Lil Tay and today's pop culture? Like, what's up with it? Like, I don't know. It's just uh, part of my job as a speaker is part of it, in my opinion, is to stay relevant, is to understand what's going on in the minds of teenagers. So, uh, yeah. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of a two for one. It's like it's fun too, just seeing what's going on, and uh, yeah, it's also a little bit what's the right word? I can't figure out what the right word is. It's not upsetting. It's not sad. It's just like it's unfortunate. It's not even unfortunate. It's just like things things could be we could use our time more productively to do stuff, even using our time to waste time slash free time doing nothing, like ah goodness. uh all right, Yeah, that's all. Vapor's like, wow, he caught up. What? Yeah. Uh, uh, hey, for people, it is, what's today? May 16th right now. It is almost the end of the year, okay? Just hang on. We're almost there. Keep pushing. Summer is just around the corner. So keep going. Keep going. Let's see. Today's culture confuses me. I agree with that. Let's see. Hey, look, McKenna's on. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was talking and laughing with family. Good stuff. Good to see you on, McKenna. Thanks for hopping on. Jonathan Kenya, good to see you on. Let's see. Thoughts. Let's see. Just can't see it. Hey, Richard. Hey, Gerald. Good to see you on. No face. Good to see you on as well. Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, it's been a little while. Hasn't been too long, but it's good to see you on. Gerald says, "Hey, Wolfie and Jiguzi and Juan, I remember you. Hello, fam. So what has happened so far? This conversation we've been talking about Lil Tay, and we've also been talking about today's pop culture and where our society is going today. It's a little bit of a, I don't know. The word closest word I could think of is sad. It's a little bit sad where I think our culture is going, but it's not doomed. It's just my general thoughts is, people creating personalities to get attention, very intentionally. So like, Lil Tay, like I'm legit curious to know, Lil Tay as an actual human being authentically away from the persona of Lil Tay. Like I don't know her real name, but uh, anyway, Taylor was it? I don't know. Anyway, it's just yeah, yeah, you know. Culture is created by us. It really is. Like we are the controllers. Like social media and yeah, I'm just gonna say social media has given us the power as society to dictate and create the culture of what it is today. So, and of course platforms too. So I'm YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, whatever platforms. Like the way these platforms are structured, of course, heavily influence the way our culture is dictated today too. So there's other things like for people who play Fortnite, or even if you don't play Fortnite, like you might know Ninja. Ninja is one of the most famous streamers of all time right now. He's super popular. And see, Ninja. Let's talk about Ninja real quick, okay? For those of you who know Ninja, or if you don't know Ninja, like I think Ninja is such a great example of positive things. Like, it's from like I've watched Ninja streams, I've watched some of his videos, and for me, like he has a great personality. He cares about people. He's doing things positively. He's donating a lot of money towards charity and creating a lot of fundraisers. I don't know how much money he's donated, but I know at least $100,000, if not 200,000 or 300,000. But like he's someone who is talented at what he does, playing Fortnite, streaming, making YouTube videos, and on top of that, like he's super hardworking. And it's like he is such a great example of modern day pop culture of like positive influence. So yeah, that's what I gotta say. It's goodness. Hey, I'm not gonna lie here. Like I know a lot of you here are in middle school, high school, some recent graduates, but like for me, oh my goodness. Sorry, Mackenzie, I just saw Ninja vs. Thanos. Did you see that video? I just saw the video on Instagram. There's like an animation where Thanos ends up killing himself. Anyway, I completely lost my thought right now. But oh, okay, I remember. So I'm just gonna say like, okay, I want to categorize. Okay, even though I'm a kid at heart, I am an adult. Okay, so I'm kind of in both worlds. So I'm kind of a kid at heart, but I'm also an adult. Okay, so I'm gonna say for you kids, your generation, middle school, high school students, anyone of this age, teenagers right now, and then the adult world, they're very very different. Like before I started speaking, and connecting with middle schoolers, like kind of like right out of college, I was more in the adult world. I was into I was doing more, I don't know, just stuff outside of memes, like middle school, high school memes, And now that I'm doing a lot of work with middle school, high school students, such as yourselves, um, like I'm understanding kind of the culture, and I'm understanding like the ever evolving memes and stuff like that. And it's like it's such a different world. It's crazy. It's like it's a completely different world. It's like completely irrelevant. The memes, a huge part. I'm not saying everything. Like there's of course a lot of different worlds within the teenage world, but outside of memes. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, so I don't know. To me, I'm just fascinated. Super, super fascinated. Okay. McKenna says, today's culture disappoints me, especially the TV shows today. When I think of TV shows you had versus what my cousins will get on TV, it makes me sad. Yeah, TV shows. Yeah, so here's my general tip slash advice, or just words of wisdom, which is be mindful of the content you consume, because you will become the content that you consume. Like if you keep on consuming this kind of whatever content that is negative or positive, that's who you're eventually going to become. I'm not saying that like if you watch a Little Tay video, you're eventually going to become Little Tay. I'm just saying like if you continue to consume junk, like your brain is going to be like that. I'm not saying completely. I'm just saying it does have an influence. So here's a personal example. So when I was young, I used to watch a lot of television, TV, and I remember I used to watch a lot of news. So growing up, I was so used to seeing this whole world of like just a lot of what are murders, a lot of rape, and a lot of war, and all this negativity. And I've actually stopped watching the news. I stopped watching TV, stopped watching the news like that, and my perspective has shifted. Instead of me seeing this world as such a negative place that has tons of war and crime and stuff like that, I see the more positive side. I see hope. I see opportunities. What I see is I see people for who they are. So that's how my mind has shifted since I stopped watching news. Now, I'm not oblivious. I'm not ignoring the fact that these tragedies do happen in the world. It's just like, I don't know. I'm not blind to it. It's just the focus I choose is different. So, point is, be mindful of the content you consume, because the content you consume does have an effect on your reality. Okay, so if you consume negative content, or I'm gonna call it junk content, your reality is gonna end up kind of being like that. But if you consume content that's more wholesome, that's more productive, positive, optimistic, will make people's lives better, stuff will make your life better, whatever it is, make you happy, that will influence you in ways. So just like be careful what you feed your body, physically, like, are you eating burgers and fries, or are you eating whatever salad and what else? I'm just gonna go with kale. Fruits and vegetables. There we go. Same thing mentally. Are you feeding yourself garbage? Are you feeding yourself Little Tay every day? Or are you feeding yourself wisdom, knowledge, inspiration? So, choices. Okay? That's what I gotta say. Jonathan McKenna, yeah, I'm gonna read your comments in order. We're not too far behind on comments, are we? Yeah, so I'm gonna read your comments in order right now. Jonathan says, oh goodness, Lil Tay is bringing this pop culture society to garbage. Paper says, actually not just Lil Tay, Lil Pump, and so on. Oh goodness, Lil Pump, yeah. I do not understand the culture today. Everything makes like no sense, even my grammar. Nice. Hey, just out of curiosity, so sometimes in the messages I see message retracted. Does that mean whoever like Mackenzie, I see that you have 3 retracted messages in a row. Does that mean you commented something and then you deleted it? Is that what happens, or is it something else? So I'm just curious. Uh, I've never 100% understood what that means when it says message rejected, but it happens every single stream. Gerald says, "Hey, by the way, Richard, uh, I'm making a Discord account. My name is going to be called Izzy. It also has some fancy-ish symbols. Well, I'll see you when it loads. By the way, I know nothing really about Discord. That's perfectly cool, Gerald. Super excited that you're creating a Discord and hopping on and joining us. Discord. Discord. I appreciate Discord. Like whoever created Discord, I appreciate them. For me, I didn't want to. It's okay. I'm gonna be very honest and just real transparent. Like my intention of this YouTube channel was not to make it like gaming focused. But the truth of the matter is, it's like gaming is a huge part of our culture today. And I'm not saying this is gaming. This is not a gaming channel, but that is a part of kind of the culture that we have. And for me, part of the culture that I want to create with this, we'll call it the Richard Quote community. That sounds really weird using my own name, but like, part of this community that we're creating is inclusiveness. It's like meeting people where they're at. So if you're a gamer, awesome. We accept you as you are. Come hang out with us. If you are a dancer, cool. Come hang out with us. If you're an artist, whatever you are, like just come hang out with us. And one thing I'm going to promote and I encourage anyone who's on right now, by the way, if you're on listening to this right now, you are essentially the leaders of this community. Like seriously, I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but like I'm serious. Like Isaac, Jer, Jonathan Kenya, Vapor, Mackenzie, McKenna, like Gerald, like sorry, I'm missing a few names. But John, like a lot of you who hop on regularly, like you are the seriously, like you all are the foundation of this community. So my simple it can be a little bit of a big ask, but like my simple request of you is that you help me in just treating people who are part of this community with respect and accepting them as they are and being those role models, just like I get to do myself. So my main purpose of me mentioning this right now is that I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of people on this channel that, a lot of people in our school culture community that feel like they don't belong anywhere. And I don't know. It's just like there always is a place to belong. There really is. And I hope that for anyone who feels like they don't belong, that hopefully this community is a little bit of a home for you. It's yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like everyone deserves to feel belonging somewhere, if not everywhere. Yeah, but again, culture, stuff like that, social peer pressure, a lot of different factors. So, yeah, I just want to create a culture of just inclusiveness and where we can support each other, support our differences. Yeah, my encouragement to you is to, not trash on people, even if people are being rude or saying negative things, or they're swearing or they're being disrespectful. For me, it's just about like understanding, but not tolerating. It's understanding, being accepting. Like, hey, look, I know you're just seeking attention. I honor that, but we also don't. I mean, we don't. I don't tolerate when people are, like saying negative things in the chat. Like, of course, I'm going to block them or whatever, silence them. But also accepting them as they are. These are just people who are going through their own challenges and looking for their own attention. Anyway, moving forward, because I know the comments keep flowing. Let's see here. Gerald says, oh, by the way, I emailed most of my friends and told them about you. I'm expecting one of them to come on stream, but he probably forgot about it. Is playing a 10 KDR game right now. Not bad, not bad. Maria says, good to see you, Maria. Maria says, sorry, I won't be active on live. I'm watching Riverdale, which is a TV show, because it's the season finale. Sorry, that's perfectly okay. I understand. Season finales are kind of a big deal. So, yeah, too many memes. Mackenzie's getting McDonald's. Awesome. Ben says, how do I get through high school? That's a very big overall statement. There's so many different things that, go in high school, from, social peer pressure to dealing with crushes and relationships to grades to dealing with, self-esteem challenges, fitting in. I just mentioned that already. What else? Problems at home, finances. Maybe you're dealing with physical or mental challenges, whatever it is. So there's a lot of things going on, especially in high school. High school I think is a really, really tough time for a lot of people, myself included. So my main thing is how do you get through high school is you just keep pushing through. That's it. It's like, I mean, there's a lot of different like tactics, but like the main thing is as hard as life gets, it's just about keep pushing through. And look, it's not going to look perfect. Okay. Like if you're struggling, it's going to be a struggle. It's okay. Embrace the struggle and keep moving forward. Like, um, embrace failure too. Like if you fail, accept it like, hey, like I messed up. What can I do better? Let's keep moving forward. And again, don't expect yourself to be perfect. We're human beings. We make mistakes, and even when we try to get back up, sometimes we don't feel like getting back up, and that's okay. So keep pushing forward to the best. Do your best. Always do your best. And always do your best means again, it's not about like, I didn't feel like I did my best there. Oh man, I guess I'm not doing my best. Now I feel down on myself. No, it's like always do your best to me means, sometimes you're gonna feel down on yourself, and that's okay. Sometimes you're not gonna want to do work, and that's okay. You know, sometimes you should be doing something right now, but you choose not to do it. I'm not saying it's okay to keep not doing anything, but it's okay to be human, to have those emotions, to feel resistant. So always do your best means push yourself when you can, and just keep pushing yourself one little inch forward, one little step at a time, and then that's how you're gonna get through high school. That's what I gotta say. Like seriously, that's all. Simple. Um, let's see. Gerald says so many people in my neighborhood get this school at this school. What? Close to our neighborhood, and they are getting out tomorrow. But I get out in about 10 days still. Gerald, dude, it's 10 more days. You got this. It's only 10 days. You can do this. Okay? It's not 100 days. It's only 10. Okay? You got this. Come on, let's do it. Stay strong. Seriously, like you're almost at the finish line. Like don't feel like you're missing out. Your time is gonna come. So, yeah, keep going. Jimmy, good to see you on. Jimmy says, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? Oh goodness. Okay, so my immediate answer, like just off the top of my head, the one that always like this is I like the superpower I always wanted was the ability to fly. And it's funny because I think about like, wait, if I want the ability to fly, why don't I have the ability to teleport or levitate or whatever it is? Teleport would probably make more sense, Like, can you just teleport in midair? It's not like flying. I don't know. Like to me, sure, I think teleportation would be more practical than flying. But flying to me is like, I don't know. The main concept, the reason why I like flying is because it's very peaceful. Like I always want to be like this, like I don't know, just be like a bird flying over a city. The ocean, the country, like everything, and just to be able to see like an awesome view seems so cool. And the cool thing, I know like this is not there are much better superpowers to pick today than flying, because the thing is we have airplanes today. So it's like you could still like mind reading. Mind reading might be more useful than flying right now because we have airplanes. Who knows? But still, I think flying is a really cool classic superpower that I would want. Gerald says, "Hey, by the way, Richard, I'm making a Discord." Wait, I just read that. I'm so confused. Why did I read that again? Did you copy and paste that again, or did I just mess it up? Okay. Anyway. Oh, Gerald says photographic memory and are being wise and smart and getting good grades. So nice one. I like that. That's pretty cool. So I think it was Bill Gates where I think Bill Gates was asked, what is this, what superpower would you want? And I think he's the one who said, the superpower I'd want is the ability to learn faster. And I don't know, I like that. That's super cool. It's like, it's realistic. I think it's humble and it's great. Let's see. Gerald, it's bad. I got it. Gerald, sweet. Jonathan Kenya says, just got one question. Does Rick and Morty count as junk content? Oh, that is so debatable. Let's see here. I feel like Rick and Morty is a little bit half-half. I'm gonna go with it's a little bit in the middle. It's I like Rick and Morty. Like I really like Rick and Morty. It's such a great show. It's so I'm gonna say, I mean, Rick and Morty is more it's more entertainment. Uh, but it depends how you watch it too. It's the same thing as like playing video games. Okay, so it depends how you consume the content. So let's talk about Rick and Morty. If you're watching Rick and Morty and you're watching it purely for entertainment, it's like it's entertainment. It's a little bit. I don't want to call it Rick and Morty junk, uh, but it's like it's just entertainment. Okay. Now, if you're watching Rick and Morty and you're dissecting how the characters are put together, how the stories, how the thoughts, the what's that word? The existential concepts of life and existence, how all these thoughts are put together and you're using your mind actively, I think it can be used as a positive tool. So, um, I guess to put it in a spectrum, it's in the middle. It it's so hard to say because I like Rick and Morty, I really do. But there's stuff that's more trash than Rick and Morty, and there's stuff that's better than Rick and Morty. In terms of having positive stuff. But at the end of the day, I think having a balance of both, kind of like freedom to consume whatever content you want as your heart desires, plus positive content, even if your heart desires. But just positive content is good. So there we go. There we go. Cool. Gerald says, hey, one of my friends is on the stream. Hello, Gerald's friend. I don't know your name, but welcome to the live stream, and thank you for joining us right now. Let's see. Jonathan Rukendi says, basically it means you deleted the comment. Wait, Jonathan, does that mean I deleted the comment or they deleted it? Because I definitely am not deleting any comments. So if they deleted it, that would make sense. Ben, good to see you on. It's me, Richard. I like that. Gerald says, but I do hate the motto, disconnecting from reality. That just is probably the reason why my sis is addicted to Discord. Hey, Ben, help me get Colton on the stream. I have emailed him already. Okay. Disconnecting from reality. Disconnecting. What does it mean to disconnect from reality? Disconnecting from reality to me means, I like how I'm diving into this. Disconnecting from reality to me means, it's like to ignore kind of like real life responsibilities and, just like, yeah, ignore real life responsibilities. Like that's, to me, that's what disconnecting from reality is. I think it's a real thing. Like, I don't know about I don't know. I don't see that as a motto. I think that's a phrase of what's happening to people, and I don't think it's a positive thing. I don't think disconnecting from reality is a good thing. Gerald, I hope I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm, grinding some gears right now or whatever it is, but like, to me, I think it's a very real thing that people do, is to disconnect from reality. It's to stop caring about school when they feel stressed out and they start, disconnecting by doing something else like playing video games or whatever it is, eating or watching TV shows and stuff like that. Yeah. So, yep. Jimmy says, instead of being a motivational speaker, what other job would you like to be? So what other job would I be doing if I was not a motivational speaker? Good question. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm making YouTube videos right now. Would I do that professionally? Would I make content? Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna, just so I could like eliminate the whole package. So when you're a speaker, typically they say like if you're a speaker, you're also an author, you're also a content producer, a writer, things, because they all kind of go together. And then you're a coach. So those are like 5 things. If you're a speaker, you're a coach, you're a writer, content producer, and writer, something like that. So I'm gonna group those all into one. So if I was not doing this, speaking, YouTube, stuff like that, what would I be doing right now? Oh, goodness. I feel like if I was not doing speaking, that's tough. I feel like the thing I would be doing is something along the lines of traveling around the world, supporting, it's such a cheat answer, but like if I wasn't doing speaking, I would still want to do something revolving around self-esteem, because self-esteem, like building positive self-esteem, is my passion. It's something that I struggled with, and I want to help other people do, because it's a very painful and unnecessary place to be. Like, can we just all please stop feeling low self-esteem? But it's tough. It's a challenge. So I would love to travel the world. I love to just be on my own free schedule and have conversations with people. I don't know what job that would be. Maybe that is a coach still, or yeah, it's a little bit of the same ballpark. That's where my calling is right now. So that's what I gotta say. Alrighty, McKenna says, I'm curious, what do you think about a political correctness and how it seems like over the years people are becoming overly sensitive to everything? Political correctness. I think that's a really good question, McKenna, and let's talk about this. So, what about political correctness? So, there's two parts that I see from this. Number one, I'm gonna say part A is that I think that it is important to, as a society, that we respect, what is proper, what is PC. So, like, for example, like, it is not like, I don't think it's cool to go around like, ah, oh, dude, that's so gay. Oh, that's retarded. Oh, that's so lame. Those are really offensive words to people who are whatever, gay, LGBT, whatever, mentally retarded. Please forgive me. I don't know the right verbiage. Disabled, mentally disabled. Like, I don't know what it is. Special needs. Anyway, my point is, like, I think it's important that we respect people and treat them as human beings as they are. So be mindful. So to not use offensive terms, in my opinion, that's where being PC is important, is to respect people. So if we're using, like, don't use the N word, don't use racially offensive words or language, because that could be offensive to people. Okay. So that's number one. Okay. Respecting people as they are and not using it as an insult, as if, like, using the word, oh man, that's so, I don't know how to say it. Like, the first phrase that came up for me was like, oh, that's so ghetto. Like, to me, it's like, wait, does that mean that ghetto is, if you're quote unquote ghetto or from the hood, you are less than this? So it's just being mindful to, like, treat people with respect and not treat people less than you are. Nobody's less than you are. Nobody's greater than you are. We are just human beings. We should all treat each other equally. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. So that's number one, okay, is to just treat people with respect. Number two, I believe that in terms of people being overly sensitive to everything, I don't know where the trend is. Like, in my opinion, I feel like our world, our culture is becoming a little bit more open. People are becoming a little bit more understanding of people. So, in my opinion, again, my opinion, not the truth, I feel like people are, in a way, becoming less sensitive, like a little bit more understanding. So, like, what's an example? So, like, an example I'm thinking of is like, what's up, guys and girls? How's it going? Like, if I say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? If I say that, guess what? I'm excluding people who are transgender. Like, that's because I said ladies and gentlemen. How about everyone in between? So my point is, like, I have a feeling that people are understanding of the culture, and understanding that even if I say ladies and gentlemen, that they're not going to get offended that I don't say, whatever, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. That reminds me, I think a year or two ago, I made a video where I actually said that, like, hey, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Just because I was just like, I wonder, like, what it feels like to, I don't know, be transgender. Like, do you feel excluded when, people say men and women? So, yeah, overall, my main thing is just show people respect and don't treat people like less just because they're whatever, by race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, age, social economic status, clout, whatever it is. Don't treat people less than just because they don't have, quote unquote, what you're looking for, if that makes sense. Jonathan says, how many genders are there even here in 2018? That's a good question. So, the most popular term that I hear of is LGBTQ. Uh, so, wait, hold on. Genders? Ooh. Huh. Oh, wait. Sorry. That's sexual. Wait, hold on. Genders versus sexual orientation is completely different. Genders, uh, huh. Well, from what I'm thinking, if we're talking about genders, we got male, female, male to female, and then female to male. Um, is that gender? I think that's gender. And then there's gender identity, which is another thing, which is, for example, so gender is, I think, it's physical. It's a physical, the physical body. Are you man, woman, or are you a man who turned into a woman, or a woman who turned into man? So there's four. There's gender identity, which is, let's say I'm a guy, and like physically I'm a guy, but mentally I feel like I am a woman. Like I just feel like a woman. So that's something else. There's like this. I remember seeing this chart. It breaks down like gender identity, sexual orientation, stuff like that. Like there's more details behind it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna catch up with your comments right now. I just happened to see your comment, so it was relevant, so I answer it right now. Excuse me. McKenna, thanks for the PC question. Jimmy says, Richard, last Monday, you're not really clear of my gaming. On a weekly basis, I play 1 to 2 times a week in moderation. After those 1-2 times a week of gaming, I take 4 weeks off of gaming. So Jimmy, see, this it was kind of confusing reading that, because what does that mean? On a weekly basis? So, okay, the one piece of the comment you did not include is how many weeks do you play 1 to 2 times a week? Is it for a month? Is it for 6 months? Is it for a year? Is it for 10 years? And then you take 4 weeks off. That's what confused me a lot. So, but in general, I get it. It sounds like you play for a few 1 to 2 times a week in moderation for a few weeks. Did not define, and then afterwards you take 4 weeks off, and then you do that again. Which to me it sounds like it's pretty healthy. Jimena Dominguez, good to see you on. Thanks for hopping on. Gerald says, by the way, Ben is one of my friends that I emailed. Got it. Thank you for letting me know that. Gerald says, yeah, I'm supposed to be studying right now. I might just study, but keep my comp beside me and listen to video and occasionally look just so you know. Got it. 10 names seems like finals and I got advanced school. Gerald, look, if you got to study and this is a distraction, my advice is go study, or my suggestion, my recommendation is go study. But it's your life and you do what you want. But just do that's going to support you the most. Tyrone says, hey guys, sending good vibes. I have an anatomy final tomorrow. Best of luck, Tyrone. Good vibes to you as well. McKenna wants, I really want to be, McKenna wants to be a mind reader for her superpower. Gerald says, my sister's looking at stream right now. By the time you see this, she will probably be in bed. Nice. Jimmy says, what's my favorite sport? Basketball, currently. Yeah, I enjoy basketball. I play twice a week. I'm sad one of my, I play basketball with the same guys every single Tuesday, Thursday, and one of the main guys who plays is leaving. So I'm a little sad about that. Let's see. Jimmy says, when do you exercise routines like running, dancing, playing sports? How many minutes do you exercise and do physical activity? So currently, Jimmy, I'm going to be honest, my physical routine, my exercise schedule is not at its peak. It's not like the best. But again, I play basketball every Tuesday, Thursday, usually about 2 hours both times. So 4 hours a week. And that's it. When I'm on my exercise game, some of you know this if you've been on long enough, where I used to exercise every single day or at least 4 times a week, for, I don't know, it was a very decent amount and healthy amount. But yeah, currently it's just twice a week, 2 hours of basketball per each one of those days on Tuesday, Thursday. Mackenzie, welcome back. Jonathan says, it means that they deleted it and I don't know why, but they deleted it. Got it. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know, Jonathan. McKenna says, I think for me the term disconnecting, I wouldn't usually would say escape from reality, because if I'm stressed, I tend to go on my computer because it's where I can relax and just calm down. Got it. Why are we talking about Wakanda, huh? Where did that come in? Jimmy says, in movies or TV shows, what are the most disturbing scenes for you? The most disturbing scenes are eye gouging and other eye injuries. Nice one, Jimmy. When he said most disturbing scenes, I thought about one movie in particular. I'm not gonna. Ah, goodness. I don't even want to mention it. Like it's not that like I don't know. Like to me, it was cringy. It was like violently. It's very real. Why is that the squad? I feel like Duck Squad. This Duck Squad. Why are you calling? Let's see here. So yeah, I'm gonna pass on that comment. Like I don't want to go into those conversations of disturbing movie scenes right now. Yeah. Jonathan says two questions. One, how do you deal with anger? And two, how to deal with pressure. So how to deal with anger, I would say is self-awareness. So that means if you're feeling angry, what you do is the moment you feel angry, like obviously you're gonna start feeling that pressure in your heart, right? Like right here, it's gonna like, and then whatever, your head might start getting hot, and you're just like you feel a lot of emotion. So what do you do when you're angry? Number one is self-awareness. It's noticing that you're feeling angry. When only when you notice. Okay, here's what happens. When you get angry, what happens is you give your power away to your anger. You give your power to your anger. Okay, here's your anger. You have the power, but you give it away to your anger. Your anger / emotions dictate what you do. Okay, that's what most people, not most, probably most people. That's what most people do. So here's what happens. Okay, if you feel angry, okay, so this is you, this is anger. If you feel angry, what happens is the responsible thing to do, in my opinion, is you look at your anger and be like, I see you. You're angry. I'm angry. Now that I feel angry, now that I know I have a choice. I could give my power away to my anger, or I can keep my power. Okay? And I think the responsible thing to do is keep your power and be like, okay, I feel angry, I feel really emotional, but I'm not going to react. I'm not going to let my anger take control. I'm going to stay calm and calm down. I'm going to choose to stay calm. And like anger is never about the other person. Anger is about yourself. So let's say, what's a good example? I'm going to use a car example. Not everyone, most of you don't drive cars, but this is pretty simple. So let's say someone cuts you off on the freeway, okay? Hopefully you can imagine this even if you don't drive a car. But let's say someone cuts you off on a freeway. You're doing your thing, someone cuts you off. Most people get really upset and angry, like, dude, what was that, man? Like, and they start swearing and like, get out of the way, like, whatever it is, and we have a choice. The thing is, the person in the other car doesn't really care, Let's just assume like they can't even hear you. Guess what? Anger is all yourself. It's your emotion, So you start yelling at the person. You might start blaming the person who cut you off and swearing at them, inside your car. But you have two choices. The person cuts you off, and you start noticing that energy, whatever is happening. You notice, that energy from your chest gets really tight, right? That's where anger comes from. So you feel that pressure, and then what you do is, okay, I feel angry. That person cut me off. What am I going to do about it? Let it go. It's choosing to take control and then making a decision based off what you feel is right, what is more productive, instead of just letting your anger react to it, okay? So I think that's the same thing applies to pressure. Anger or pressure, same thing. It's noticing. Step one is notice. Step two is take control, okay? That's what I got. By the way, people, I see your comments. How far are we with comments? We're decent amount with comments, but we'll be back. We'll catch up. What I want to say, tomorrow is Topic Thursday, so we got a topic video coming out. My request of you right now, as I'm speaking and catching up with comments, is if you can please write a question that you have that you might want to be answered in a topic video for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to create a video on it probably tomorrow, uh, and then upload it by tomorrow night. So please let me know what questions that you might have that you want me to answer. Life questions, life advice, stuff like that. Yeah, and I would love to answer for you. By the way, like your questions are the best, all of you. You all ask better questions than I could come up with topics. So please keep asking questions because they're so relevant. Yeah, and maybe I'll rethink the anger question and make that into video. And as if I see good questions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste your questions into my little handy dandy notepad over here, and we'll make it into the video topic. It is now 8:55. We've been on for 55 minutes, and I have a feeling we'll be on for a little bit longer because we have a good amount of questions to catch up on, and but we're going to answer these questions. All right. By the way, if I quote unquote skip your message, uh, number one, sorry. If it's, if you ask a question, I missed it. And there's other things, for example, um, for example, here's an example of questions, comments I'm going to read but not address because it's like I just know that I acknowledge you. Okay, so for example, Jimmy's comment of like scenes. What do you say? Jimmy said, these are things that I'm not going to comment on, but I just want to give you an example so you can see. So Jimmy's like, the reason why eye injuries are too disturbing for me is because when I see someone squish the eyes and it gets in my mind, uh, I don't, and I don't have nightmares. It's just, it gets stuck for a few days or weeks. Got it. So for me, just letting you know, just for the sake of time, I acknowledge your comments. I'm not going to read them all out loud just so we could um, stay up to pace because we're a little bit behind here. Let's see. Girmina, yeah, I remember that comment. Okay, McKenna says, I agree with everything you're saying. For me, it's more about just nowadays, it seems like, for example, sports teams, like nowadays, people get offended when they get cut from a team and school. Yeah. I think, um, so like if people get cut from a team or school, stuff like that, they get rejected or whatever. A lot of people take things personally, and guess what? That's human nature. And I think one thing that we get to teach the future generations is that nothing is ever personal. Like that's such a powerful thing. And if a whole generation knew about, like, understood that concept that nothing is ever personal, I think that would shift, like it would really shift the world. It would shift it so big. Like there would be no beef. Like nobody would be fighting because people are like, oh, I get it. I respect your opinions. I understand you're mad. You're yelling at me, but I understand it's nothing personal. So I'm not gonna care. So especially at a young age, it's easy for people to get offended. It is what it is. Um, we can't change other people, but we can change ourselves. So my thing is, all you need to know for yourself is nothing is ever personal. Don't take things personally. If you get rejected, don't take it personally. It's okay. Okay. Okay, McKenna says, I'm reading this because it seems interesting. In New Jersey, just actually made a rule saying that you don't have to try out to be a cheerleader anymore, but I feel like that would hurt people in the end because we all have to deal with rejection at some point. And so if you don't deal with it when you're young, wouldn't it make it harder when you're older? Just my thoughts. That's a good, I like that comment and thought. Dealing with rejection. Let's see. Dealing with rejection. Yeah, I agree. I think we get to deal with rejection at some point in our lives, for sure. I agree with that. I think that that's very supportive. I How do we do this? How do we teach people? It's such a balance. Like, I think as a culture, we got to teach people how to, uh, you know, uh, people get to be rejected, in the right reasons, not just for the fun of it. Um, so people get to get rejected, because that's going to help them grow. But also at the same time, we get to teach people how how to react or how to process when they get rejected and not take things personally. That's all I gotta say. Jonathan, good to see you on. Jonathan Morales. I will not recap everything because it's way too much and we have too many comments. So you're gonna have to rewatch this live stream if you want to see what happened. Jonathan McKinney says, "Hey Richard, I don't know if you already answered my two questions." Oh, yeah, I just answered it if you did not see it. And anyway, yeah, I spent a good amount of time answering those questions. Let's see. Agranola, the guy who made the. Okay. All right, I'm gonna. Oh goodness. All right. Look, I'm still not convinced. I'm not convinced with a 12-hour live stream yet. I don't know. I see two people saying yes, please. We'll see. By the way, I appreciate your persistence on that. Like I'm still not convinced. Like I gotta feel it. Uh, that's a pretty big. That's a really big task for me to do. 12-hour live stream. I got things to do like absolutely nothing. Like just chilling. I'd rather chill than do a 12-hour live stream right now. But I know 12-hour live stream. I mean, it's both fun, but it's very tedious at the same time. Okay, what's your fear? Let's see. Oh, wow. Mackenzie says, my fear is being lonely. That's a nice one. I was actually just thinking about that. Of all the fears, this random thought is fear of dying alone. I don't know if that's a real fear that I have. That probably is a fear that I have right now. Fear of loneliness. Is that I think that's up there. I'm like trying to connect with my heart right now. What is my deepest fear? Rejection, failure, feeling alone, feeling inadequate, feeling like I'm not good enough. I think those are of the category of fears that I fear. Yeah. Neko Nerdo, good to see you on. Oh, I got the notification just now. Okay, gonna catch up on streams. Awesome. Jimmy says, can you make a video? What you watch funny videos, but I can challenge for you. You can't smile or laugh while watching these funny videos. Got it. Can I make a video, like reaction video? Let's see. I could, if you really want me to, I could. You gotta send me a video though of the funny clips and stuff like that. I'm down for the challenge. I don't know. I'm look at this face. Does it look like I'm very exciting to watch? Questionable. McKenna says, do you think it's healthy to be angry sometimes and not just hold it in? Ooh, nice. I like that. I think if you feel angry, I think it's important. Okay, just emotions in general. I think having some sort of outlet is important. I don't think reacting, angrily, yelling at someone is a good thing to do because you're hurting other people, okay? If you feel angry, yes, if you want to yell and scream into a pillow, go for it. Other ways to deal with anger, look, anger is just emotion, and don't bottling emotions is very unhealthy. It will increase the stress hormone that's probably called cortisol, and that's going to create health problems like cancer cells growth if you have stress. So point is, stress is not healthy for you. And if you feel angry and you're bottling up your emotions, you're going to feel stressed. So what you got to do is you got to release the emotions. I don't recommend yelling at someone because that's not very nice to them. You could yell into a pillow. You could scream like, ah, yell into a pillow. That's option number one. Option number two is you could journal or you could vent to a friend, okay? And when I say vent to a friend, vent for like 5, at most 10 minutes, and then move on. Don't vent for the rest of your life. There's nothing productive about venting. Venting is the release of emotions. Next is, okay, now what? What are you going to do that's productive? Okay? That's really important. Don't keep venting for hours. There's no point. You're festering, you're brewing in this negativity. And the point is not to brew and vent in negativity and be angry forever. The point is to let out your emotions, move on. There we go. Is it Sir Fred? Senior Fred? Manda sabe. Okay, I'm not. I was going to read it, and then I'm like, I don't know what it says, so I'm not going to read it. Jay Gucci says, I'll be in Fortnite right now, so if you want to join me, Richard, awesome, cool. Uh, so mean. Positivity, Isaac. Calm people trash. Well, Mackenzie says, how can you stop feeling lonely? How can you change the people you hang out with if they make you feel left out? That's a great question. I'm gonna I'm gonna guess that is a video topic question, so I'm gonna copy and paste that, and I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. I think that'll be a good tomorrow's video topic, or future at least. Jared says, how about how to stay focused in school and keep grades up while still having fun? That's a great topic too. I'm gonna copy and paste that. I made similar videos, but bad, like the one video that I made that is one of my most popular videos on my channel. Bad grades, like high school motivation, stuff like that. Um, so I will make. I'm happy to make a second video, just like because I don't know, my thoughts and opinions change over the years. So it'd be fun to see where my thoughts are there now. Okay, let's see here. Cool, cool, cool. Isaac said, if I donate $0, you have to do it. Nice. Bye, Mackenzie. Have a good night. Neko says, all right, I'll let you finish the stream. See you next time. See you, Neko. Thank you so much for hopping on. Appreciate you. McKenna says, is it wrong to feel like you need someone to like you? Because I know when someone says something nice or makes me feel special, I feel like it fills a void or some sort, even if they might not be being truthful about liking me. Is it wrong? Okay, McKenna, that's a really, really great question. So, just in case, I'm gonna copy and paste that to see if I want to make that into like a topic. Like that's so relevant, super, super, super relevant. Okay, so McKenna, all right, I'm gonna summarize this question. So the question is essentially, is it wrong to want to get compliments or be validated by other people? What I'm going to say is it is very, very, very human to want validation because it fulfills a certain void that we have. That's very, very human. So is it wrong? That depends on your definition of wrong. Okay. So again, very human to do it. I don't think the best way to live our life is to seek validation from other people because what that is that seeking validation from other people stems from a lack of self-worth, low self-esteem. So it's because we don't believe in ourselves that we need to seek outside ourselves to seek validation so other people can tell us how amazing we are because we don't believe we are amazing. Okay? So what that tells me is that, this person is struggling with their self-esteem. And if that's the case, guess what? If you live the rest of your life trying to seek validation from other people to fill your void, that is a losing battle, in my opinion. It is not sustainable. That's like putting a band-aid on a wound. It's not going to solve the problem. It's just going to fix it temporarily. Okay, so sure, short term, it's a quick fix. It's a quick fix, as in like it's a quick way to feel a little bit better about yourself. But long term, if you want to feel better about yourself long term, you need to learn how to love yourself. You need to learn how you get to learn how to love yourself. You get to understand how amazing of a person that you are from the inside out. So starting with yourself. Again, this is one of those things that is a little bit of a life journey. It's something that I'm still working on, but it's like it's not easy. It's not easy. Like I think one of the hardest things we could do is learn to love ourselves. That's my opinion. One of the hardest things that we could do. Like we as human beings, we are so self-critical of ourselves because we want to be good. We want to be the best that we can be. So how do you find that balance? Yeah. So, it's about putting in the work to understand how to love yourself. What does it mean to love yourself and how to love yourself? That's what I gotta say. Yeah. McKenna says, for me, I have a lot of trouble validating myself. I get it. Growing up, again, I grew up with super, super low self-esteem. And how do you validate yourself? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. Here, I'm going to use real life examples, no like theory or stuff like that, no fluff. Okay, so I'm going to use my real life story. Okay, so let's get real. Let's get honest. Even whatever I just said sounds great. I might even prove myself wrong right now. Okay, so here we go. Uh, I had low self esteem growing up. Okay, I mentioned that, and over time, I've been able to improve my self esteem. It's not perfect, but I've been able to improve it significantly. How did that happen? I would say what has contributed to my increase of self esteem is is a combination of several different things. Number one, it's a combination of doing things I never thought were possible for me to do. For example, uh, being skinnier than my brother. I know that sounds really silly, but to me, one of the biggest stories I had was I'm fat, and I'm always going to be fat, and until I'm skinnier than my brother. And then one day, I worked, for months and months and months. I worked really hard to lose weight and stuff like that, and then I became skinnier than my brother, and that act did two things for me. Number one, it taught me to myself that I could believe in myself. That if I set a goal for myself, that it is possible for me to achieve it. Okay, and it's possible. Like it broke the barriers of what I thought was possible to myself. So that's number one. Is uh, yeah, breaking self-limiting beliefs. Okay, what else helped to improve my self-esteem? So if you have that void, another thing is it's continuing to do the right thing over and over and over again. For me, one thing that was really hard, like growing up in Fountain Valley, California, going to Fountain Valley High School, I had a lot of peer pressure. I had a lot of peer pressure to fit in, to do what everyone else wanted me to do. I had a lot of peer pressure to not just, I don't know, let's talk about drinking. You know, when I was in college, I didn't want to drink, but all my friends drank, you know? Uh, and I honestly, sometimes I felt left out, you know? Sometimes my friends wanted to do, quote, like, I'll just call it like dumb things, and I felt left out because I didn't want to do it. I wanted to be a little bit more responsible with what I want to do. I kind of felt like a square. I felt like I was a loser in a way because I wasn't doing the cool kid stuff. But over time, I'm glad I did that. I stood up for myself, and over time, I realized that I was doing what was right, that I felt was right. And by doing that, I started building self confidence because I knew I was doing what was in alignment with my truth. Okay, so that's number two. Um, Hold on, there's more. Number three, let's talk about validation. Okay, validation is still a key. Validation does support. Okay, so here, let's talk about me. Let's talk about speaking. Uh, when I go to school, of course, I want students to like me. Of course, I want people to like me. It's human nature. And sometimes when I go to a presentation, and I'll be honest, there's some schools that I don't want to say they don't vibe with me, but like they don't vibe with me as much. And there's not that like we'll call it like that hype or whatever it is. People are like, it's just a guy sharing a story, stuff like that. And sometimes it's discouraging. Um, so you could say it hurts a little bit. So same thing goes with validation. For me, um, validation does support, but it's not everything. Yeah, that's what I gotta say. That's a real talk. It's like I don't bank my self esteem and my self. Yeah, I don't bank my self esteem purely on validation. It's too much of a risk in a way. Like validation is out of my control. I want my self esteem to be based off something that's in my control. So that's my advice to you, or just words of wisdom. Hopefully that was supportive. Okay. Um. Yeah. McKenna, let me know what your thoughts on what I just said. Was that supportive? Jimena says, let's see. How would you get over stress when you test? We have testing for 2 weeks, and I find it stressful. Ooh, I, I don't I don't look. I don't have all the answers, but what I could say is I think testing by nature is very very stressful, and uh, let's see. Okay, here I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of my old self as a student. If I was taking a test, what would I do differently? I think this takes practice. Uh, I'm going to talk about when I was in college. Why college is because I learned how to be a little bit more calm. So here's the thing. For me, I understand. Look, a test is coming up, then a test is coming up. Like you can't change the fact that a test is coming up. You can't. It's going to come. So for me, what I realized is I have two choices. I could either choose to keep stressing and like freaking out about like, oh my goodness, I'm going to do so bad. I'm so nervous. What if I don't pass? Blah 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 blah. Or I could choose to slow down, calm down, and be like, okay, I got a test coming up. Yes, I'm a little bit nervous. That's normal. But I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to stay calm. Okay? And I think that's something I've kind of learned to do over time. Okay, so your tests are, here, hold on. Let me share this. Your tests are like my speaking presentations. Okay? Whenever I have a speaking presentation coming up, I'm not saying it's like a test, but it is similar. Like I get nervous before a speech presentation. Okay, so for example, I have a big speech coming up in 2 days. I feel a little bit nervous right now, but there's two things that I know. Stress is not going to help you. Okay, so there's no point in stressing. So let it go. And number two, just calm down. Believe in yourself. Like believe that you're going to do well for you. Okay. What I mean by this, I'm not saying you're gonna guarantee get straight A's on it. You're gonna get 100%. What I'm saying is, look, stress is not gonna help you. Just do the best that you can. Okay. Do the best that you can. So me going into this presentation on Friday, I feel a little bit nervous because every single time I go to new school, it's like I don't know the student population. Everyone is always unique. So I have to play by ear, and I can only prepare as much as I can. So my thing is calm down, do the best that you can to prepare, and just go for it. Like let go of the stress and the pressure. It's trust everything will be okay. Even if you don't do well, just trust everything will be okay anyway. Okay, I'm not saying to not care about it, to just let it go. Okay, nope, not gonna study. I'm not saying that. You gotta put in the work, prepare the best that you can, and then just let it go. Just do the best that you can. And like stressing does not help. That's all. It's learning to be in control of your emotions, stress, instead of your emotions, stress, being in control of you. Okay? Let me repeat that again. It's you learning to be in control of your emotions instead of your emotions being in control of you. Okay? So stress is your emotion. When you get stressed, what happens is you give your power away to your stress. Okay? Once your stress is in power, it dictates your performance. It dictates your focus, everything like that. What you do is when you feel stress, you're like, you know what? I see you stress, but I'm not going to fall into your trap. I'm going to keep doing me. I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to study it just as I need to, and do the best that I can. That's all. All right, Jonathan Morales. Way too much to recap right now. So wait, so did I just repeat that? I feel like I just repeated that again. Why am I repeating these? What is going on? I just saw that comment like way long ago. Why am I reading it again? I'm so confused. Okay, anyway. Jared says, Richard, I've been watching for a year now. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Watching me? What? Haven't you been watching for like 3 months or 4? Jimmy says, can you do the laughing challenge next week, next Thursday or something? I'm open to it. Maybe I'll even post it on another day too. I want to make topic videos, so maybe I'll just post it randomly on a Tuesday. Yeah, I'm open to it though. Send me a link, DM me a link on Discord or something like that of a video you want me to watch, and I'll react to it. Yeah. Jonathan says, gotta go do some important homework. I will see you Friday for Fortnite. Probably have a good night, Richard. All right, cool. Jonathan, take care. Jamie says, sorry about that. I didn't explain things clearly. I sometimes forget to check grammar or if I give you very uncertain statement or questions. All good. McKenna says, I'm going to DM you my response on Discord. It's easier to say there. Cool. Perfect. All right, people. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thanks. Again, thanks for tuning in. I enjoyed this live stream a lot, and I thought it was very positive and constructive. So I hope you got some stuff away from it, and have a great night. Uh, Real quick update. I know not everyone's on right now, but if you are, Friday, I'm take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye bye.